Hey guys, it's Manda Panda. A while back, I made a poll on the Equestria Amino app where you guys got to vote for what custom pony I make next. You got to pick from SANS, Elsa, Chat Noir, Bonnie, and SpongeBob. And the winner of the poll was SANS. So I am going to be making that custom pony today. Let's get started. Rarity is going to be transformed into SANS today. And this Rarity is actually missing her horn and she has a little bit of paint on her, and this is actually a Rarity that I got in my PO box, so I thought since she was white and she was already missing her horn, she would be perfect to customize into SANS. I'm starting off by using some acetone, and I'm going to remove her cutie mark, her eyes, and any other paint that's on her body. Since SANS the skeleton has no hair, I'm going to make this custom a bald custom. So I need to remove all of Rarity's current hair. To do that, I am going to pop off the head by twisting it firmly to the side until it just pops off just like that. Now to remove all the hair, I need to take out the little neck plug here. I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and make a series of little tiny cuts all the way around that neck plug until I can just pull it right out with my hands or with my pliers, like this. And you can see inside the head all the hair roots and glue that we need to take out. I'm taking some large scissors and I'm going to cut off the bulk of Rarity's hair. And then I'm going to switch over to some really teeny tiny nail scissors and cut her hair as close to the scalp as I possibly can. And this just makes it a lot easier to pull the hair out. So I'm going to reach inside the head with my pliers, and if you don't have pliers, you could always try tweezers. And I'm just going to pull out those clumps of hair and glue. Okay, so Rarity's all bald. It's time to remove her tail. I've already cut around the neck plug with my X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to pull it out like that. I'm going to trim some of the tail off because it just makes it easier for me to pull the rest of it through the little tail hole. I'm going to reach into the body with my pliers and pull out that little tail and the metal washer that's inside. Before I can start customizing SANS' head, I need to even out the area where Rarity's horn was. So I'm going to use a nail file and I'm just going to file down the ridge that was left when they cut off her horn and just make it a lot smoother than what it is right now. And that looks a lot better. And we need to fill in all of these holes because I don't want to see them when I make my custom, because I want his head to just look completely bald, just one solid color, no holes whatsoever. To fill in the holes, I'm going to be using Sugru, which I've used several times before. It is an air dry rubber, and I really like using Sugru over air dry clay because it does not shrink at all. So I'm going to take some Sugru and I am going to place it over the holes and then use my finger to smooth all of that Sugru down so that way it looks really flush with the head. So there it is, all smoothed. I think it looks really good. You can't even tell that there used to be holes on the back of the head, and I've covered up where that horn was. So I'm going to let this Sugru completely dry overnight and let it get hard. Movie magic, the Sugru is all dried. You can see it is completely hardened. I can scratch it and nothing happens. It's not moving. It's already glued onto the head. So now I'm going to even out the color. The Sugru and the actual head are two different shades of white. So to even that out, I am going to cover the head with 2 coats of white nail polish. And this is just going to give it an even tone of white. So the nail polish is completely dried. It is time to work on his eyes. I am gonna follow the little indentation that you see there of Rarity's original eyes and make them a little bit of a diamond shape. And I'm using solid black acrylic paint, and I'm gonna completely fill this in. Then I'm going to go in with some white acrylic paint and just kind of freehand where I want the actual eye to be. And then I'm going to cover this with a very, very bright blue. I decided to make SANS's eyes the look when he uses his psychokinesis and his left eye flashes light blue and yellow. And I just chose the blue color, and I think that it looks really neat. And his face is all done. I'm not going to give the other eye an actual eyeball because he doesn't have one. He only has one blue eyeball here. And I'm going to cover all of this with a layer of clear nail polish to seal all of my work in. And now it's time to start working on his body. I've used some nail striping tape to outline the areas where his shorts are going to be. So I'm going to paint everything above the nail striping tape. And I'm using my favorite nail polish, Sally Hansen Black Heart. And I'm going to go in and just paint the bottoms, and while the nail polish is still wet, I'm going to remove that nail striping tape, and it is leaving me a perfectly straight and crisp line. And once I get this nail striping tape off, I'm just going to fill in the rest of the shorts area. Okay, the nail polish is completely dried. I'm going to start working on his hoodie. I am going to wrap both of the front legs with some sugru, and then I'm going to use my fingers to smooth that sugru out, and I'm going to smooth the sugru in an upward direction so I can pull all the excess sugru upwards, and it would be like where his chest area is. Applying gentle pressure and pressing upwards, this sugru is really starting to look cool. Now in between the legs was a little bit too much sugru, so I'm using this little scraping tool, and I am just scraping in between the legs to get some of that excess sugru out, and then I'm going to smooth it with my finger. I'm going to take another piece of sugru and wrap it around the waist area where the shorts and the little hoodie meet. And I'm going to again use my fingers to smooth all these pieces of sugru together so it just looks like one piece. Now for the hardest part, and that is his actual hoodie that is going to rest on the back. I'm taking a big piece of sugru here, rolling it into like a little worm, and then I'm going to flatten it out and make it into the shape of like a boomerang, just like this. And I'm going to fold the sugru onto itself and create a little hoodie shape. And that looks like a hoodie to me. And the front of the little piece of sugru is really long because it is going to wrap completely around his neck. So put that onto the pony, and I'm just again gonna use my fingers to smooth it on. Now I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut out the front area where his shirt is. And since it's a hoodie, I'm going to actually make this a very deep V. And then I am going to smooth out the rest of the little collar area. And that looks so nice. I'm going to give SANS hoodie the effect of having fur around the neck. To do that, I'm using this scraping tool that I got in a clay tool set, and I'm making a series of little tiny lines all over that little collar area, and it looks a lot like fur now. Switching back to my X-Acto knife, I am just making some straight cuts at the cuffs of his hoodie and making them completely straight. And I'm going to now let this Sugru completely dry overnight. So it is completely dry now, movie magic. I really love the way that this came out. I love Sugru because it remains flexible, and I just really like that. I think it'll look super nice. It is time to finish up his body. So he does have a gray stripe on his shorts. So again, I've taken some nail striping tape and kind of mapped out the area where I want that stripe to go, and I'm using some dark gray nail polish and I'm painting that stripe in, and I'm going to repeat this on both sides. While the nail polish is still wet, I'm just going to pull these up, and it should leave me a nice crisp line. And that looks so good. For the actual hoodie itself, I'm gonna go in with some very light gray nail polish, and I'm going to paint in the little fur areas with 2 to 3 coats to get a really nice coloring. And I'm going to actually paint the jacket using acrylic paint because I did not have a nail polish that was a good match to the color. So I'm using Folk Arts Cobalt Blue and Skyline, a mixture of both colors to get this like cornmeal blue color. And I'm going to paint the jacket with probably 3, maybe 4 coats of paint. The last thing I need to do is clean up my edges. So you can kind of see I got some of that dark gray nail polish too far down the leg. So I'm taking some acetone on a flat brush, and I'm very carefully just going to brush it off and give the shorts that really crisp line again. And I'm going to also do this to the front legs and get all of the extra acrylic paint off. The body is completely done now, so I'm going to seal in my work with some clear nail polish. Now, if you want a matte effect opposed to a glossy top coat, you could always use Mod Podge as a sealant. And once that nail polish has completely dried, it is time to give him a tail. So I am using this hair from dollyhair.com. This is called Snow. And I am taking a little hank of that hair. It is 1/4 the original length. And I am going to twist tie all of this hair together. And then I am going to take this twist tie and press it through the pony's tail hole, grab my pliers, and pull that hank of hair about halfway through, not all the way, just half, just like this. And then I'm going to remove the twist tie and replace it with a zip tie. So I'm going to tighten this zip tie as tight as I possibly can because I don't want any of this hair to get loose. So I'm going to tighten that up and then trim off the excess and then pull that tail back through, and just like that, Sans has his new tail. Now it's time to put the neck plug back on the body. To do that, I am using some Gorilla Glue. And I have just put some around the edge of the bottom part of the neck plug, and I'm going to place that back into the body. I'm going to let it completely dry, and then I will glue the head onto the body, and the custom is completely finished now. Let's take a look at the custom Sans pony. Here he is. I think his eye looks absolutely fantastic, and it is just so neat to see a 2D video game character come to life, and even cooler because he has been ponyfied. If you would like the chance to vote for my next custom pony, let me know and I can create another poll on the Amino app, so leave me a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, Little Pandas. Until next time, bye! You can follow me online. To get the latest news and updates, like my Facebook page, facebook.com/Manda Panda Toy Collector, or follow me on Instagram at Manda Panda Toy Collector. Want to mail me something? Guess what? You can. Mail it to Manda Panda P.O. Box 2855, Humble, Texas 77347.